This video is going to be a little bit different. It's not aimed primarily to militia or resistance units. It's aimed towards preppers, towards survivalists. Now, it is not a bug out bag per se, but this supplements a bug out bag. And what I'm talking about is this right here, something I thought up. You could describe it as a bug out rations bag or a bug out sustainment bag. This bag is primarily only about food, the actual food items itself, and a little bit of extra gear to prepare what's inside. Now, you should already have some type of food preparation stuff inside your bug out bag, some type of mess kit. But if something happens, you can't grab your bug out bag, you can only grab this, you'll at least be able to make the food that is inside the bag. Now, this idea came about from a conversation we had over on Telegram. If you want to join the stuff at Telegram, link is in the description. Click on that, come over, subscribe to the channel over there. You will have to download the Telegram program in order to participate in the conversations, though, just so you're forewarned. Now, I had posted a question, and it was a pretty basic question, but some people got hung up on details on it. And the basic question was, if something were to happen this very minute, how much food do you already have packed that you can grab and run in under 2 minutes? So what do you consider the basic amount of food you need to have? Now, if you're wondering a scenario on this, it could be something as the country is being invaded, paratroopers are falling out of the sky, and they're falling near your home. You need to get out of the area as soon as possible. So you have this and your bug out bags and that stuff are ready to go. They're in a closet that you can grab, toss in the vehicle, or they're sitting on a shelf inside your garage that you can grab them, toss them in the vehicle, and then head out, try to put some distance. Or it could be a situation of things have already fallen apart. We're living in a tyrannical police state. You get a call that the police forces, the Gestapo forces, are going to run a raid on your property and they're coming to arrest you. So then you have a matter of seconds, at most a few minutes, to grab and go. So you don't have time to pack the stuff. It needs to already be ready. And another more recent scenario that has actually occurred, think of East Palestine, Ohio, the train derailment. There, you had emergency personnel come through the community nearby, told people they needed to get out immediately. How many people do you think had any type of bug out bag or any preparations whatsoever to survive away from their home that quickly? Because there was no, you got X number of minutes to get stuff together and leave. It was, we're here, you open the door, we're grabbing you, pulling out of the house, you need to run, and right now. So think of it along those lines. Now, this bag, I figure, probably should have one for every 2 people. So figure a family, normal sized, you know, husband, wife, 2.5 kids, you know, whatever the current statistic is. Now, keep in mind, father and older teenage children, their primary jobs are going to be security and navigation. So they're probably not going to be the ones to carry the bag. But you buddy team people off. One adult with one kid or one older kid with one younger kid. The mother should be paired off with the youngest child, so an infant or a toddler, or The mother and the child that needs more emotional type support. Say you have a child that has mental disabilities. So that mother's bag is going to be geared more for who she is paired off with. Now, the first item that should go in this bag, and the main item, lightweight, compact food items, require a little bit of preparation, but hopefully not too much. So right at the top of the list, freeze-dried meals. Other items that will work will be ramen noodles. Also and I don't have any to show you, the Knorr rice mixes or Knorr pasta mixes or Lipton. Similar, they typically add water and boil. So they do work as essentially like a freeze-dried ration. Those would work also. That's what should be the bulk of your bag. The next thing on the list going down for priority would be more concentrated type food items. You don't want this to be the main item because these do tend to add quite a bit of weight. But they're helpful to have in there, and they can seriously help with morale in a bad situation. Things that would fall in this would be like your Cliff bars, your New Millennium bars, your breakfast bars, lifeboat type rations, which are a full day's meal in a pack for a single person. Don't taste the greatest, but this is something that obviously can help keep you alive a little bit longer. But they do weigh, and they weigh quite a bit. I mean, this one is a little over a pound. And then I would also throw in there, in this category, some more morale / snack type items. So you could have in there, packages of peanuts, packages of almonds or cashews or mixed nuts, beef jerky, beef sticks, and they do make beef sticks with a cheese stick with them in the pack. It is shelf stable, does not require refrigeration, so they work great for this type of stuff. They also make, obviously, winter comes around, Christmas comes around, you get your mini shelf stable summer sausages that come in your gift packs. Tossing in 1 or 2 of these inside of a bag are great for morale, and you can use them as a supplement to the things that are inside your bag. I have seen small packages of like applesauce, pear sauce, that type of stuff, single servings in stores. Primarily meant for kids, but guess what? An adult can suck one of those down too. It'll give you a little bit of nutrition, a little bit of dessert, or a little bit of fruit at least in your diet. I've also seen packs of, small packs of olives. I've seen these appearing more in the stores now. I think they're like O-gloves or something like that, or O-loves. I think they're like a O-L-O-V-E or O-G-L-O-V-E. And they come in different flavors for the olives. Something like that. Having a few in here would work. And then after that, kind of the additional items to help fill empty spaces around your primary ration items. So things like the cup of soup bags, or maybe individual packets of coffee, or individual tea packets. And it wouldn't hurt to make sure to pair it off with some packets of either honey from a restaurant. I know KFC was always good for getting it from there. Or packets of sugar to go in the tea if you want it sweetened. And then also you have other types of drink packs that are in stores right now. You got fruit punch, you got soft drink flavored ones, which was surprising seeing that, and you have other types of fruit drinks that are there too. It's essentially a Kool-Aid, but it's in a little itty bitty narrow tube. And like one of those for every 16 ounces of water, I think, is what it's supposed to be. And then obviously also bouillon cubes. Not going to feed yourself fully on that, but that's something that could help you out. Give you a little bit of additional fluids in your body, give you a little bit of warmth in cooler weather. If you have someone who has diarrhea during this situation because of nerves or because of some type of parasite, you know, bouillon made into a broth, you never know. It could help them get through it, help them to survive it till their body can fight off that parasite, get through the situation. Now, for items to support it. First off, because this is for 2 people, a compact 2-person cook set. Now, that's not what this is. This is just a small cooking pot, but it fills up roughly similar size. And it'll typically have saucepan on the bottom, fry pan on the top. There'll be a small detachable handle that's inside it. And usually there's 2 small bowls / plate things inside, and then usually 2 really cheap cups. The cups really aren't worth keeping around. They're really flimsy. Especially if you go with having hot drink packs in here like coffee or tea. I would substitute the metal cups for that. There are older style ones with the old Boy Scout mess kits that were made out of aluminum or tin. They were really compact and they would work just fine if you substitute them inside that cook set. You can purchase them separately online, not from a store. You got to look at secondhand stuff. So maybe inside a thrift store or off of eBay. And when you would remember with that cook set, you need to pair with it a couple sets of utensils. Cheap ones, light ones work just fine. Remember, this is to supplement what's inside your bug out bag in case you lose what's in your bug out bag. And all you get is this. This will at least allow you to prepare what is inside here. Now, another thing that to go with that, you should have some type of compact cook stand. I know there's different models out there. This is just what I have. The little S-bit stand. So that you can cook on whatever type of environment. The ground could be too wet for you to put a fire on. Something like this. It's really lightweight, maybe a couple ounces. It would work. Now, it wouldn't hurt to have a few packs of emergency fuel tabs. I don't have any packed in here. In the particular layout I have with this bag, figured they would probably be in here. So some type of compact fuel tab that you could use on that stove, or you could use as fire starters to help get your bundles of sticks, twigs, and that stuff to start burning before you put on larger wood. So, and then you'll need, oh, I should mention another item. If you don't want to get fuel tabs, you don't have the money, you can make your own. I know there's videos on this of taking cotton balls, soaking it inside Vaseline, petroleum jelly. Those do work as fire starters also. So you could have those inside a small lightweight plastic container or inside a couple plastic bags, one inside the other, you know, stored off to the side where hopefully it won't get punctured and contaminate stuff. Now you're going to need something to light that fire so that you can heat the water for your rations and also purify water as needed to help kill bacteria and parasites. So you should have in there 1, preferably 2 packs of matches. If you want to toss in a lighter, go ahead, but I would still toss in the matches because lighters, they have a tendency to fail when you need them the most in a survival situation. Now, you covered the eating part, so to speak. Well, you took food in, you're going to have to eliminate it. So it wouldn't hurt, keep a roll of toilet paper in there also. Now another thing, when you think about it, for preparing the food, you're going to need water. So you could pack inside your bag a small compact water filter system like a Pro Hiker or something like that, the small hand pumps. Or, and I would recommend tossing some of these in here anyway, even if you have water filter. Some water purification tablets. This is a type you can get at Walmart. I haven't used them yet. They look pretty straightforward when I've read through the instructions. Figured this is supplying 2 people. So when you do your calculation as to how many tablets you're going to need, figure out how many days your food can cover and make sure you have enough tablets to supply 1 gallon of water for each person for those 2 people over that period of time. And it wouldn't hurt to just toss in a few more just to be on the safe side. Because who knows, maybe you're going to have to ration out what's in this bag to last longer than you expected. Or you could look at it as, this is for one person, this is for the other. Now, I also figured for tossing in here, think about your very first day. You're bugging out, you're going to be extremely stressed out. So you're probably not going to be all that effective. So you may not make smart decisions on making your fire, preparing your food that first day. So it wouldn't hurt for just that first day, for 1 meal at least. Pack in there 1 MRE per person. So it's 2 people on the bag, 2 MREs. Now if you want to strip it down, that's up to you. But I would point out that every single thing that's inside this pack, you would end up using sooner or later. Not necessarily with this particular meal. You may take the spices and that stuff from here, use it with a freeze-dried meal. Use the toilet paper from here for an emergency. You know, even that stupid little bag that comes inside these for mixing the drink mix might come in handy. So that's something to think about. Now, to go with that, I would have some emergency water in here. Now, you may think, well, add a canteen. This might be a better option. 2 to 4 bottles of water inside the bag. So 1 to 2 bottles for each person. Each of these particular bottles are 1 pint. So 2 of them together is 1 quart of water. That'll be enough to get you through for a little while. How long? Less than a day, because you're supposed to drink 2 to 4 quarts of water per day. But it'll help get you through that meal. You can pull this out, drink it quick. You know, as you're traveling somewhere, don't get rid of the bottle. You're in a survival situation, this bottle can get reused. You can reuse it a few times. Carry more water, or another thing I recommend, have inside each of the bags a little card that you make. Drawing on one side, graphic on one side, the instructions on the other. And on that card, the instructions for taking one of these bottles, turning it into an emergency water filter. So then maybe you're going to want to include a appropriate type of clean cloth with the bottles so that you can use it inside here down at the bottom for filtering the stuff out as you're filtering dirty water in here through down into either another bottle or into your canteen. 2 is 1, 1 is none. The old survivalist saying. Now, some things that I thought of on this. The food that is in these bags is what you eat first in a bug out situation. Or if you are in a resistant situation, you're going in heavy, you're bringing this with to supply you and maybe one other person rations for a few days. This is what you draw from first. Save what is inside your bug out bag till this is expended. This is all used up. That way, something happens, your bag here is open, you're at your site, your bug out bag is still packed. Marauders show up, something occurs, you grab your bug out bag and have to go. You don't have time to grab everything here to repack it in the bag quick. You still got some rations that are inside your bug out bag if you can't grab this. Or as I said before, something occurs, you can't grab your bug out bag for whatever reason, you at least have everything in here so that you can eat, you can sustain yourself. This is not for everything. You're not going to have your medical in here and all that stuff. This is just sustainment, just food items. Now, weight on this, figure probably a max of 20 pounds. If you have, it's going to be a younger child that's going to have this, you're going to obviously use a smaller bag than this. Watch your weight. The heavier it weighs, the more likely you are to leave it behind. Or that child is to leave it behind. Even though it'll keep you alive, they may leave it behind because they're just too tired of carrying it. Watch your weight. Figure you should shoot for 10 to 15 pounds, no more than 20. Pack it as tight as you can, with as much as you can. Any empty space inside here, fill it in with something light. You got a bigger space in here, toss another one of those concentrated food bars in there. You have a smaller bit of space in there, well, maybe put in a Ziploc bag of some bouillon cubes or a Ziploc bag of some of those drink mixes. Or slide in a few more sticks of jerky in there. That jerky, you don't have to eat it by itself. You can cut it up into small pieces, mix it in with what you have in the bag here also. Supplement it. Now, this particular bag here, I have a list of what I was able to pack in here. And this is just as an example. This isn't the standard that I would use for myself. I would pack a bit more in here because there was still plenty of extra space in here. But what I could pack in this bag, and the dimensions of this bag are 1 foot in height, 1 foot in width, 2 feet in length. I could put in here 22 packages of freeze-dried meals, 8 packages of ramen noodles, 2 MREs, 4 bottles of 16-ounce bottles of water, 1 roll of toilet paper, 1 cook set with utensils and a cook stand, 2 sets of water purification tablets, which I put on the outside, 2 batches of matches, and a partridge in the pear tree. All total, feeding 2 people If you go off of 2 rations a day, you have 30 meals in here with the ramen noodles and the freeze-drieds. 30 meals, 2 a day, you can go 15 days. Now if you go 3 meals a day, you have 10 days, so a week and a half. So this bag has enough here that it could last 2 people for a week and a half to 2 weeks. Now, recommendations on the bags. I'm going to point out, think of this as kind of a gray man thing. Because you could be in a situation, you're in your vehicle, you are bugging out. You run into a roadblock. Or your vehicle wrecks. Or you come across an accident or something that you're not going to be able to get your bug out vehicle around. You have to dismount and go. Every person should have their bug out bag. The person who's supposed to carry this should have this nearby so that they can grab it quickly and easy to bring with them. The bag, think of it as gray man, no camouflage patterns, no bright colors. So ideally, a greenish color, a brownish color, black, a darker type blue, not a real bright, easy to see from farther away blue, or a darker gray. Something that will not draw attention if someone sees it. Maybe they think, hey, it's just a bag of clothes, not realizing it's a bag of food. When they rob you, they may grab your backpack because they figure, well, that's more important. You know, I can use that. I can live out of that as they're running off. Maybe they'll leave this behind figuring it's just your bag of dirty underwear. Well, then you still got food. Things to think about, isn't it? Now, something that one person brought up in the conversation that I had on Telegram is he sets up along this concept with 5-gallon buckets. Now, I did do a video in the past called the 5-gallon chow bucket or chow buckets. Figure maybe have one of those with your family. And just like this, it should be one that you can attach a shoulder strap to, so you can throw it over your shoulder. So you may have to drill a couple holes on the side of the bucket around the upper part below the rim. Put a couple rings in that. Attach a cheap strap to it so that you can strap it to your side. That bucket you could use for hauling water. Going down, getting water from the stream, bringing it back, and filtering it from that into canteens or water bottles. You could also use that as a wash basin for washing your mess kits using hot water. Things to consider. Let's see what you guys think on this concept inside the comments here. But as I point out, remember, this is just rations, not a full-on bug-out bag survival kit, just rations. Oh, I forgot to mention, with the mother and the infant, or the mother and the toddler, ideally, you're going to have your diaper bag and you're going to have it packed with as many diapers as possible and anything else that's required for a kid. But the mother's particular bag that she's in charge of, she should have the food for her down at the bottom, the rations and that stuff there, and then a nice big open space over the top of that she can grab that bag, go over to the cabinet that the baby food is in, take her arms, pull all that out down inside the bag. Grab those canisters of formula, put it inside the bag. Grab those extra bottles that are already clean, they're just waiting to get used, grab those, toss them in the bag. And the cook set that would be inside the mother's bag probably should have in there a couple of those little bowls that they use for mixing baby food and stuff in, the what looks like a multi-meal type stuff, and then have a few of, or a couple of, those small rubber covered baby spoons. That should already be set inside the bag. But her bag should be set that she can go to the cabinet, grab it, toss all the baby stuff in there as fast as possible, close it up, and then you guys are loading up, heading out the door, either on foot or preferably in a vehicle. Something for you to consider. I know a lot of people have it in their heads as their primary option. They're going to secure in place. They're going to stay home. They're going to bug in. But you need to be prepared for the possibility you may have to bug out. Good example on that, as I said earlier, East Palestine, Ohio. So here's something for you to think about here. Adjust it accordingly to your needs, but you got the guidance on it. Less than 20 pounds, ideally 10 to 15 pounds. Bag that would not be noticed, would not draw anyone's attention. Should concentrate on quick, easy food type items that hopefully all you have to do is add a little bit of water to. A means to purify additional water and collect additional water if need be. You can use these to collect water too, to purify. Stuff to consider. Now, for all my engineer brothers in the Patriot and militia movements, always remember, essay odds.